Alright, so there you have this sheet with the two panels connected to it all finished up. We can move on to working on the next part. So first step, we're going to be working on the side panel, I mean to say. So to do that, you're going to make another sheet of tape. This one is 11 inches in width and 20 inches in length, which is the same length as the actual duffel bag. So like I said before, you can make this any size you want. That's up to you. So you need 14 strips to make this entire sheet instead of 12, since it's just 1 inch, a little bit 1 inch higher. So that's all you need for this. Okay. So what you're gonna do now, we can set this sheet aside real quick. So now you're gonna need these 3 strips right here. 2 of these are 11 inches and 1 is 20 inches. I went through to mention the camera angle. I do want to mention one thing. You probably noticed the camera angle has changed quite a bit. Usually I have the camera facing over that way, so it gets this end of the cutting mat, but now it's coming over this and we get like the long side of the cutting mat, so I can actually work with this and show you guys on camera without getting anything cut off, so you can see. So hopefully this works out for me well enough. Okay, so now we can move on to this part here. So you're going to take your 20-inch strip right here, and just going to flip this over so the sticky side is showing just like this here. Move it back so we're on camera. So stick it down just like this here, and now take this large sheet right here and just line it up halfway over just like this, and seal it down right like that. So now the sticky side is halfway over and part of it's stuck onto this. So that's pretty simple. So now bring over your new sheet that you just made, and just going to seal this right down on top of that. So just like this here. Leave a little bit of sticky side showing in the gap here, so it will fold over well enough. So that's easy. That's easy right there. Seal it down to make sure everything's where it needs to be. It doesn't come apart. Okay, so now everything should meet up when you fold it over. And this is where I'm having the trouble with the last camera angle. You couldn't see what's going on up on top of the screen, so do apologize for that. Okay, so now what you're going to do, this part's going to be a little bit tricky because you need to seal it up on the side, and then since the top is curved, you need to curve it right around like that, and duct tape does not usually want to curve on itself, so it can be really tricky to get this done, but we'll see what we can do here. Okay, so now we're going to take one of these 11-inch strips right here, and we'll remove this down, and just stick that right on top. Well, actually lay it down on your cutting mat or surface you're working on, and stick down halfway over the sheet that you just made. Oh, sorry about the camera there, guys. Just bumped it with my hand, or bumped my tripod, I should say. Okay, so now that you have that stuck on there, what you're going to do is bring this over, and you're going to line this up. Now this can be fairly tricky. You want to have a partner with this, at least a friend to help you out sticking this together so they can hold this side panel up right here, and you can work on folding this over. It's going to make it a lot easier. Sadly, I don't have anyone to help me out with this, so we're just going to work with what we can. Okay, so let's try and get this done here. So I'm going to get on camera here, so you're going to stick this right to the side and fold this over. I'm trying to do it one-handedly here. Okay, and seal that down just like that. And now this part's going to be a little bit trickier because you're going to want to fold this over or round it off right at the top. Just like that. Make sure it's lined and seal it down just like that. So now you can see the top is curved right around there. So that's how you want to do it. Okay, so now that's done. The bottom and side on that part are connected. So now you're going to do the same thing on this side. You're going to take this 11-inch strip right here. Okay, and you're going to stick it right down on top of. Actually, let me get that done here. Just stick it right down on top of there, halfway like you did before. Easy enough. Okay, let's get that unstuck from here real quick. And now this should be a little bit easier since you're working on a different angle, or for me it is anyway. Like I said, you get a helper, it's going to be a lot faster and a lot easier. So let's do the same thing, just peel it over to this side, seal it down, and then curve it over, make sure it's aligned, and peel that down, I should say, and just like that, and seal it. So now that's all done. So now you can see this side is all curved over the top and sealed together, so that's pretty cool. So now what you're going to do is you're going to do that same process once again on the other side. So make another sheet that is 11 inches in width and 20 inches in length, and then stick it and cut out the other strips of tape. Sorry, I'm trying to think here for a sec. Cut out through those 3 other strips of tape, the 2 that are 11 inches and the one that's 20 inches, and do the same thing. Stick the strip on the bottom, stick the sheet there, and then do the same thing on the sides, and you'll be good to go. So then after you finish working on the both side panels, we can move on to making the top flap that goes over the top of the opening, and then we can also make the strap that goes over your shoulder, so you can actually hold the bag. So finish doing the side panels, and then we can move on. Alright, so now that you've finished making or sticking together all of the sheets to the side of the duffel bag, or the side panels and everything together, you just something that looks just like this. Pretty much basically a finished duffel bag. All you have left to do is just have the flap over top and have a strap on this for it, so you can hold it over your shoulder. So we're going to do that right now, so we're going to set that aside. So to do that, you're going to just need to make a sheet of tape. The length needs to be 20 inches so it matches the exact length of the duffel bag. Well, it doesn't need to be exactly 28, it can be a little bit under, that's up to you. The width is also up to you. I made mine 7 inches in width. That's just what I like to do for this. But that is up to you. The measurements for the flap are all up to you. But mine's just 20 inches by 7, so that's mine. So I also need to cut the strip of tape right here. For me it's 20 inches, for you that depends on what you choose to use. Just going to stick that halfway down on the bottom of your sheet, so just like that. So you can see now it's just stuck right, the sticky side showing right there. So you can bring back over your duffel bag, and now what you want to do, that's going to be a little bit tricky because these are all like floppy and not too sturdy. If you want to make these a lot more sturdy, you can just put you can just slash a few strips of tape right along the side here and reinforce it. That's up to you. I just left it out here to save time for the tutorial. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to take this flap right here and just seal it down about, about 2.5 inches down the side of this panel right here. Just roughly around 2 inches. That doesn't really need to be exact. Just stick it down anywhere you want to put it, really. Okay. So now you can see there that there's just like this little bit of flap right here that's showing from the main panel, and this folds over to the other side. All right. So you can see that right there. Pretty cool. So now mine does not go over all the way to the other side. That's all right. I don't really want it to, but you can make yours as long as you want and do what you want with it. Which is pretty cool. So I'm just going to just fold this down right there. It doesn't really, this does not really stay shut, but if it's longer it would stay shut a little bit better. But that's up to you. I just like the way, I'll just leave it as it is for the tutorial. So that's that. So now for the strap that goes over your shoulder, I just have mine right here. Let's try and get that on camera. This is roughly, I made mine roughly about 56 inches, give or take a few. That doesn't need to be exact, but you can make this as long as you want. And now you're also going to need these smaller little strips of tape right here that just go right over top of this. So it just seals down, you have the sticky side right around it. And then that will get stuck right to the edge of this. So right there. Now this is something you want to really reinforce so it stays stuck down there well enough when you have stuff in here. Now you're going to take the other side of this and seal it down the strip again, so the sticky side is showing right there, and come back over to the back side of the duffel bag. Move this forward a little bit so you can see right here. Alright, so now you're just going to stick this down right here, and there we go. So that's that. This is a pretty big project to make, but it's really cool nonetheless. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. That's it. Like I mentioned before, this takes a lot of tape, and I can tell you that just from working on this, I had that one roll of tape, and remember I showed you the roll at the beginning? Well, this is all I have left of the roll now, so just make sure you have plenty of tape to work on this, as you can see the sheets are really big and everything, so just make sure you have enough to work with. So yeah, that's your duct tape duffel bag. Pretty sweet. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I do hope you enjoyed. If you have any ideas for the next tutorial or time lapse, let me know down in the comments below. Love to see what you guys can come up with. Also, I just recently started a gaming channel. I mentioned this in a few of my other videos, so I don't know if any of you guys have actually heard it. But I've been doing games. I've been just playing games like Minecraft on there. It's just another side channel just to have fun with it. This channel is still going to be my main priority to upload videos to, so I'm not going to slack off on videos here, so don't worry about that. So if you want to go check out the gaming channel, link is going to be in the description below. If you're on a phone or something, you just want to search the channel. If you can't use links or something, I'm not sure how it works on phones. You can just search Crazy Omega 117, 117 in YouTube search engine, and that will come up. That should come up with my channel. So that's pretty cool right there. So if you're interested in gaming channels, you can go check that out if you'd want. So yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say. Once again, do hope you enjoyed this tutorial. So thanks for watching. As always, just enjoy the one that's duct tape.